Hey guys, Dan here with Battlefield Curator. Have you heard of the Finnish Mosin Nagant M28, specifically used by the Finnish Civil Guard? Well, if you don't know about it, it's probably one of the most popular rifles in the military surplus collecting community because it was used by the greatest sniper of all time, known as Simo Häyhä. Now, Simo Häyhä was a Finnish Civil Guard sniper during the Winter War, and he accumulated over 500 confirmed kills. This rifle was his rifle of choice for his sniper duties. So we're going to go over why he used the M28 over, say, a scoped rifle, a Mosin Nagant 9130. Well, first of all, he actually chose the M28 because the Finnish Civil Guard were issuing rifles that might have not been, up to date, or they probably were older rifles like the M91. Actually, the M91 was his first rifle he used when he joined at the age of 17. But aside from the fact, Simo Häyhä was an avid hunter. He definitely knew how to pick a rifle, and when he saw that he could pick an M28 that was, had all these different features on it, and he just had to pay some money for it, he opted to provide the cash. Now, the program was that the Civil Guard soldiers would provide a huge portion of the cost of the rifle, and that they would pretty much, it would be theirs, but it would still be, Finnish Civil Guard property. But they would keep them at their house. They could clean them. He could take it hunting. He could practice more with it. So he opted for that because he saw the value in having that rifle available to him at his house, at his residence. All right, so during the Winter War, Simo Häyhä still used this M28 for his duties as a sniper. Now, why didn't he pick a rifle with a scope? He was using an M28 with iron sights. Most snipers that you hear about were using scopes. Well, he had gotten really used to the rifle with iron sights, and a scope, well, scopes in the Finnish military and the Civil Guard weren't really that available. You got to think that the Russians had some PE and PEM scopes that they were using on their Mosin M9130s, but they really didn't have a lot of capture. They didn't really capture a lot of those yet, and scope technology was not the best. So you're talking maybe a 4-power scope, and you got to think that these scopes aren't really that technologically advanced for that time frame. I mean, maybe a 4-power at best, and then you had issues with weather conditions, so the scopes might not do so well. They might fog up, or they might have issues in weather, in the cold. They might get bumped when you're taking fire or you're taking artillery fire. So the scope, every time you take it off and put it back on, you might have to zero it again. So it's just a hassle to deal with. The scope glint could give you away. So if it glinted in the sunlight, it could give you away to an enemy sniper. So he definitely didn't want that to happen. And a scope sits really high. I mean, the scopes of the time were sitting really high in these rifles because they're bolt action, right? So Simo was like, why would I want to sit higher, make myself a bigger target? I could, use my iron sights with my great eyesight and sit lower on the rifle. But yeah, he did not want a scope. He didn't want to deal with it. He was used to the iron sights, and that's what he stuck with. Another reason he liked to use the M28 was its accuracy. It fired the 7.62 by 53R, which is somewhat similar to the 7.62 by 54R, but it was developed by the Finnish, and the Finnish were very keen on having accurate rifles. These M28 he liked the sight picture that you get on them. It pretty much, if you look at the sight picture, it's a really thick front sight post on there, and the rear sights, you get a really defined image of a sight picture when you're looking through the rear sights. You got to think about that they put a heavy barrel on these rifles to make them more accurate and withstand colder temperatures and overheating, weather conditions. They actually shimmed the barrels so that it was free floated in the rifle. So you're talking about a really accurate rifle, and yeah, I'm surprised what this rifle could do at 600 yards. So let me show you some footage of what I did with the M28 at 600 yards.
First, you can see it from using the scope
Oh, man, that was awesome. It was right on top of the last one. Man, that is a really sweet shot group. Oh, you're back. And as you can see here, my shot groups for the 600 yard was pretty good. Look at that. Now that video was part of another video I did, and I've actually linked that one in the description. So if you want to see the full video of me shooting the M2830 at 600 yards, you can go check that out in the description. All right, and just to go along with the weapon mechanics, the trigger was upgraded. It was like spring assisted. So you had a better trigger pull than what you would on an M91 or M9130. All right, another reason why he uses rifle, sticking with the rifle itself, he liked the ruggedness of it, right? So the M2830s, some of them were made with the Arctic birch stocks, which held better in colder temperatures. They wouldn't warp. They were less prone for moisture getting in there and warping. You got to think how cold it is out there in Finland. I think the coldest it got while he was in combat was -40 degrees. That's crazy. I'm a Florida boy. I can't even imagine -40 degrees. So to go along with the ruggedness of this rifle, the iron sights were very protected. The front sight post had these wings that came out, and they were very sturdy. The rear sight post also had a lot of good protection. You know, it was pretty solid rear sight. So like if the rifle got bumped around, there's probably very little chance that it was going to get bent out of place. Whereas the older M91s, the rear sight was prone to getting bent and you would lose accuracy. So these M2830s were engineered, the rear sights were engineered to withstand a lot of combat and soldier usage. All right, another reason why he used the M2830 was he was used to using it. He practiced with it a lot. I mean, he had been using a Mosin platform since he joined at 17. And you're talking the Winter War, 1939, 1940. So he was very used to these rifles. And the M2830 was the best that you get at the time, except for, you know, maybe the M39. But I would say that they're pretty much on par with each other. There might be some better parts of the M39 than the M2830. But the M2830 is what the Civil Guard was getting. So he was very used to this rifle platform. He practiced with it. He knew his engagement distances. He used his rangefinder. Rangefinder? Yeah, his rangefinder. So eyesight compared to knowledge when he would go hunting on particular ranges, and he knew where the bullet would hit. Also, when he would go competition shooting, you know, he had a lot of practice behind this rifle. So when he was able to judge distance very well and set the iron sights to the precise or maybe close enough to where he knew he was going to hit them, then that's why he used his rifle. He was already used to the platform. He was used to the sights. He knew how to set the rear sights to the engagement distances. Well, guys, that's it for the video, and that's why Simo Häyhä used the M2830 for his sniping duties, and that is a huge reason why he accumulated over 500 kills during the Winter War in a period, very short period actually. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Should you get an M2830? I think you should if they're available, if you find them. They're very accurate rifles. I was very impressed with what I was able to accomplish at the 600 yard range. Now, Simo Häyhä, his longest engagement distance that he took somebody out, he took out an enemy sniper, I think around 420 meters. So he didn't really have to go 600 yards. But, you know, that rifle was very accurate at 600 yards, and I was very impressed. So, but yeah, that's it for the video. Let me know what you guys think. And if you like this kind of content, be sure to share with your compadres. And don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Facebook, Battlefield Curator. And as always, be sure to learn history and curate history. Pulverize the like button and subscribe if you haven't. Make it a great day.